take to Octus so quickly. I was sure that, you know, other people were going to design characters that were much more engaging and interesting to the eye, but to see people doing so much fan art already, even before the show even started, it was wild. And I'm so impressed and so grateful that you all like the character so much and taking the time to do your wonderful art on all of this, but also on all of this. Okay. I'm trying to decide how I approach this name. Calanathus B. What was the process of designing Octus like, especially with the connections between him and Theosny and him and Typhon?
Hey, I'm Maxwell.
How much did you talk
Maxwell
to Bria
Smalls.
about this connection?
Remember that.
Or is there a lot that was happening on the fly? So here's the thing. Bria and I talked extensively during our character creation. Bria and I are very good friends. I love her to death. We hung out a number of times right before we were doing character creation. We wanted to come in with some sort of relationship to one another. And initially, because I've very much dispensed with this initial concept that I had a very different original character concept. And originally, the relationship between Taisha and I was going to be more like the relationship between Julie and Taisha. We were going to have a very antagonistic relationship between the two. But then during the first meeting where we pitched characters, unfortunately, this company now has two spooky men who think very much alike. So Taliesin spoke first and stole a lot of my characters. And we just happened to be thinking along the very same, well, a similar wavelength, I will say, with what he pitched in the meeting, which is not who Baudelaire ended up being. But he was hiding a lot of things from us in that initial meeting. So I thought, you know, we were on the same track. I got distracted, so I stopped dating with my chat. So, question. So in that meeting, I panic made Octus within like 5 minutes, or at least the initial idea of Octus within 5 minutes, and then Bria and I quickly changed our relationship to being one of like a mother and son sort of situation, because we didn't want to tread on the same ground as other people were treading, and wanted things to be unique. And I, as a player, am absolutely allergic to doing the same thing that someone else is doing at the same time. So, I think that answered the question. I don't know. SMS. Well, what? I heard something. Well, we all got scared, but what about Octus? Death freaked you out. Death freaked you out the most? So many moments getting garroted, soul splitting apart, pin coming out, your stomach, and so forth. Yeah, so, what freaked me out the most? The moment when I thought I actually fucked up. When Brennan told me that my spirit, like, faded away and disappeared, my thought, and I kind of got into this in the cooldown, I thought I messed up Brennan and I's plan by rolling poorly, and Brennan just killed me. So I did leave the table thinking I really fucked up, and I was going to have to make a new character, so I was already brainstorming new character ideas when that happened, because I walked off set and Marisha was looking at me and she just went, "What happened?" And I was like, I don't know. Because Brennan and I were not nice and didn't tell anybody that I was going to die. Jigglypoof Gaming. Why are you like this? Will our Beacon memberships include a coupon for therapy, especially after the events of episode 4? No. I'm sorry. I have no control over that. And I will do it again. I'm gonna kill him again, just for you. Bright Serpent. Question. How does Octus's relationship with Undeath compare to previous undead characters you have played, namely Jasper and Isaac? Is there different elements to Undeath you want to explore with Isaac? Absolutely. So this was kind of a thing that I put forward to myself in that I have, in previous actual plays and other things that I do, in my own actual play that I run, and then the LA by Night and New York by Night shows I was on, I have played a lot of things that are undead, but all of it has been vampire related. So my interest in this was to do something that was not vampire related, and as a challenge to myself to find what is interesting about Undeath within the context of a non-vampiric situation, if you were. And I'm really excited to get into some stuff I have planned, because I think it's going to be interesting. I was literally texting Brennan about it today. Anybody else see that? He moved. He did. I'm watching you. Burb noises is the subject of my TED Talk. I'm taking it from Brennan. Birds are now mine. How did the Halloween theme end up Oops All Alex's? And how much shit did you get while off camera? So we got, here's how this day went. I didn't know it was Oops All Alex's. I knew that Marisha's idea for me was to dress normal for the Halloween episode. And then I kind of got a vibe that there was kind of spitballing of like, we're all going to dress up gothy and fancy, and you're going to be normal. I don't know what I'm talking to Davey. But that was the concept that I had, that I was going to be dressed normal and everybody else was just going to look pretty and gothy and beautiful. And I was like, okay, great. That's funny. Great joke at my expense. Thanks, Marisha. But I didn't know it was going to be Oops All Alex's. So when I got to set that day, they quarantined me in another room while they all finished getting ready, not telling me what was happening. They were just saying they were working on some stuff and that I needed to hang out here. And then I jump scared Matt when he walked in the room and he didn't recognize me, which was very funny. But then they had me come out into the room, and then everybody was dressed like me, and then made fun of me for about, I don't know, 3 hours? Less than that, but the jokes did not stop for a long time, which was great. I loved it, and in all honesty, it made me feel very loved and wanted in this place, that the time was put into it to do such a ridiculous thing at my expense. But Marisha gets one, and I won't do it again. Lied Little Ghost. As well as playing in C4, you are a storyteller for a VTM series called Private Nightmares. I am. How was your experience with the World of Darkness games influenced... Oh, how has your experience with World of Darkness games influenced your character creation and play for D&D? So, VTM is the first tabletop game or RPG that I ever played. I played in high school, and I played that for a long time. I didn't play D&D until I was like, maybe 24. Like, I was a purely Vampire the Masquerade guy up until that point. I had the 3.5 books, and I had read them for D&D, but never played. So a lot of the way I roleplay and the way I deal with RPGs in general has a baseline in Vampire the Masquerade. And it's not, I don't think it's something I'll ever be able to escape. But what it has done is allowed me to get out some ideas in other mediums in Vampire that I would normally be like, oh, I want to try and like shoehorn this into D&D. And now I don't have to do that, because I've had plenty of years of Vampire games to satiate any desires I have in that area. Oh, interesting. So I see there's a question there. It says, was Octus, I can't read your name here, was Octus named Octus because he's the 8th child? Did Primus name his brothers based on a numerical system, which I assume the end of that question is? You're sort of right. There is a pattern, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. So you'll have to wait and find out. The only sibling that you've heard of is Ethrond, which does not fit that pattern, or at least the pattern of numerical children. So keep Ethrond in mind, keep Octus in mind, and down the line, you might figure out what the pattern is and what the names link to. Camilla, question. Did you become a Hollow